Miss Turner's class. You need help with homework? It's Miss Turner's class. I got you. It's Miss Turner's class. What about if you didn't understand something in class? It's Miss Turner's class. I got you.
Hey you guys, and welcome back to yet another video. In today's video, we are focusing on Module 3. Yes, 3. Lesson 1. And we're going to be dealing with area and perimeter a ton in today's lesson. But what is area and perimeter? You guys asked the best questions. So area measures the space inside of a shape. So, for example, you would use area when you're trying to figure out how much furniture can fit inside of your living room. Whereas perimeter measures the distance around the shape, how much space you have around the shape. So you would use perimeter when you want to build a fence. And we also are going to be using formulas for area and perimeter. So the formula for area is length times width, and the formula for perimeter is length plus width plus width. I'm going to show you guys what length is and what width is. All right, you guys, so here we have a rectangle. And this left-hand side right here measures the width of an object. It measures the width of an object because it measures how wide that rectangle is. We're stretching that rectangle out. So when you hear the word width, I want you to think of the word wide. Whereas this part of our rectangle measures the length. It's called the length because it's super, super long. It measures how long our rectangle actually is. So when we say length and width, these are what we're talking about. We're talking about how long the object is and how wide the object is. Now that we know which one is length or which side is length and which side is width, it's time for us to get right into finding the area. So let's go ahead and determine the area of the following rectangles, rectangle A and rectangle B. You guys will notice that there's grid paper behind this rectangle. The reason why there's grid paper is because sometimes when we're finding the area, it's a little bit easier to use grid paper because we're measuring the distance inside of our shape. So all we're going to do, you guys, is count those squares inside of our shape. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So the area of rectangle A is 27 units. The reason why we're using units is because we do not know what unit of measurement it actually is. Now let's do the same thing for rectangle B. 1, 2, 3. Whoa, hold on. I just realized something, you guys. We're going to be here for quite a long time counting all of these squares inside of rectangle B. So instead, you guys, let's figure out the width, how wide the object is, how wide the rectangle is, and how long the rectangle is. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6 units wide and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 units long. Do you remember the formula for finding the area? It's something times something. What do you think? Yeah, it's length times width. So in this case, you guys are multiplying 6 times 13. Well, 6 times 13 is 78. And just as before, you guys, we do not know the actual unit of measurement, so we're just going to say 78 units. And this is actually going to be square units because we're finding the area. So 27 square units and 78 square units. We've now found the area of both of our rectangles, rectangle A and rectangle B. Now let's find the perimeter. Remember, scholars, the perimeter measures the distance around our rectangles. Let's go ahead and count how many squares are around our rectangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So the perimeter of rectangle A is 27 units. We don't need to say square units because we're not multiplying, we're just adding here. Now let's find the perimeter of rectangle B. Same as before, you guys, we're going to be here for a while trying to count all those tiny squares around rectangle B. So instead, we're going to use the formula. Do you remember the formula that we used to find perimeter? It's blank plus blank plus blank plus blank. Can you fill in those blanks for me? Yeah, length plus length plus width plus width. As a reminder, you guys, this side right here measures our width. This side right here measures our length. Let's go ahead and count to see how many units we have for our width. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 units for our width. And what about our length? Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 units for our length. So this time, you guys, we are no longer multiplying. We are adding. So if I look at this problem, I know that my length is 13. So I'm adding 13 plus 13. And my width is 6. So I'm adding 6 plus 6. Well, I know that 13 plus 13 equals 26, and 6 plus 6 equals 12. So 26 plus 12 equals 38 units. We just found the area and perimeter of both rectangle A and B. Now let's just use a formula. Let's get rid of that grid paper and let's focus on those formulas. Let's go ahead and determine the area and perimeter of our first problem. Well, in this problem, I know that my width is 5 centimeters and my length is 4 centimeters. So in this case, you guys, when I'm finding the perimeter, I'm adding length plus width plus width. In other words, 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 5. 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 5. And this will give me my perimeter. 4 plus 4 is 8. 5 plus 5 is 10. So my perimeter is 18 centimeters. My area would be length times width. Do you know what my equation would be then? Absolutely. 4 times 5. I know this because my length is 4 centimeters and my width is 5 centimeters. So I'm multiplying 4 by 5 to get my area. 4 times 5 is 20. And I'm finding my area, so I have to put square centimeters. I want you to pause the video and I want you to do B, all on your own. When you think you have the answer, unpause the video to check your work against mine. All right, you guys, welcome back. So for part B, I know that I have a length of 4 centimeters and a width of 8 centimeters. So in this case, you guys, when I'm finding the perimeter, I'm still using that formula, length plus width plus width. Did you guys get this as your equation? Is that what you got? If you got that as your equation to find the perimeter, you are right on the money. 4 plus 4 plus 8 plus 8. Well, 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. So my perimeter is 24 centimeters. Did you get 24 centimeters? Awesome. What about the area? What formula did you use to figure out the area? Or better yet, what equation did you use to figure out the area? Me too. 4 times 8 will give me the area of part B. 4 times 8, you should have gotten 32 square centimeters. Remember, when we're multiplying, we know that we have to add that square in. Awesome job, you guys. I want you guys to do these problems on your own. So if you want to pause the video, do the problems, I do want you guys to get some more practice in. So these problems are ones that you're going to do on your own. In some of your problems, you guys, there's also going to be instances where they give you the area and you'll have to figure out an unknown side length. In this case, I have an area of 8 square centimeters and I'm figuring out my width. I'm figuring out how wide my object is. I know the length, which is 8 centimeters, but I don't know the width. So in this case, you guys, I know that my formula for area is area equals length times width. But in this case, you guys, I already know, there we go. I already know what my area is. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in those blanks. 80 equals, what's my length again? Yeah, 8 centimeters. So 8 times W, width. And there's a little X there standing in for centimeters. Standing in for my width because I do not know it. So now I'm going to ask myself, 8 times what will get me to 80? Because I know that 80 equals 8 times something. Do you think you know what that unknown number is? 8 times blank equals 80. Yeah, absolutely. 8 times 10 equals 80. So that means, you guys, that unknown side length is 10. Good job, you guys. Let's do the same thing for part B. In part B, I still know that length, but I do not know my width. And I know my area is 49 square centimeters. Remind me, what is the formula for area? Area equals? Good job. Length times width. What's my area? Yep, 49 square centimeters. I'm just going to put 49 though. 49 equals, what's my length? Good. 7 times, and we don't know what that width is, so we're just going to put a W, or you could put an X in. 7 times blank equals 49. Yeah. 7 times 7 equals 49. So that means that my unknown side length is 7. Good thinking, guys. Now, what about if they give us the perimeter? Remember, the perimeter measures the distance outside of an object. So what if they're trying to build a fence around this rectangle? 20 centimeters is my length. I don't know my width, but I know that my perimeter equals 120 centimeters. Can you remind me, what is that formula that we are going to use to find the perimeter? Yeah, length plus width plus width. Good job, you guys. Length plus width plus width. And as a reminder, I do not know my width, but I do know my length. What's my length? Yeah, 20. So I know that my perimeter, which is 120, equals 20 plus 20 plus, and we don't know our width, so we're just going to put W's, plus width plus width. My perimeter is 120. So I know that 20 plus those other two numbers, it has to equal 120. Let's try to make this problem a little bit smaller. What's 20 plus 20? Yeah, 40. And I still don't know those other two missing lengths. I don't know them. So let's think for a second. What operation can I perform to figure out the missing length? If you said subtraction, you are thinking like a scholar right now. Yes, I'm going to be subtracting. I'm going to be taking away 40 from 120. Do you know what 120 minus 40 is? Yeah, it's 80. So I know that those two W's, those two widths combined equal 80. So if two of those widths combined equal 80, then what's one of those widths? Yeah, 40. So 120 equals 20 plus 20 plus 40 plus 40. When adding these together, I will be able to determine the perimeter, but I know that one side length is just 40. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my side length, which is 40 centimeters, or my width, which is 40 centimeters. What about in part B? In part B, my perimeter is 1,000, and one of my side lengths is 250. Remind me one more time, what is the formula for perimeter? P equals good. Length plus width. Let's fill in some of those blanks for us. I know my width. What's my width? Absolutely, 250 meters. So perimeter equals length plus plus 250 plus 250. Same as before, you guys. I also know my perimeter, which is 1,000. So we can actually substitute P for 1,000. Same as before, we're trying to make this problem smaller. So I can add 250 plus 250. What's 250 plus 250? Yeah, 500. So now I have 1,000 equals length plus 500. Remind me again, what operation can I use to figure out what my length is? Yeah, subtraction. So I'm going to be subtracting 1,000 minus 500. 1,000 minus 500 equals what? Yeah, it equals 500. So let's think for a second, because 500 gives us the combined total of these two lengths. I just need to figure out what one of the lengths is. So what's half of 500? Good thinking. Yeah, 250. So my unknown length here was 250. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please make sure you're giving it a thumbs up if you learned something. Comment down below if there's anything that you're still unclear about or if you want an additional video. Until next time, bye guys.